All right, I think we're live. I'm just gonna say we're live. I think we're actually on. 802 Blues. Hey man. Hey, and there's a lot of static coming on over there, man. Wow. Hey, David Ennis.
Are we live? Because I'm not saying showing live.
Yeah, yeah, we're live.
We are?
We're live. We got Eduardo, 802 Blues, David Ennis.
Okay, bring up dad here.
Actually, can you send me a message on Facebook real quick? Just a quick test.
Yeah. Okay. See, this says waiting for Johnny Beane. I don't think we're live.
No, we're live. I see everybody. Everybody's saying hi to me. Simon Williams, Eduardo, 802 Blues, David Ennis, Pork Chop, SRV. Hey, you guys.
I'm not even seeing I'm not showing a chat or anything. It says waiting for Johnny Beane. But yeah, I'll send you a message.
Just test. Just say test. That's all you got to say.
Tear. Sorry. Let's try test.
Or that. That's fine.
Tear. Tear what?
Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Actually, I'm going to open up the video, too. Simon Williams. Hey, everybody. Hey, this is Johnny Bean. It's 1:08 p.m., February 27th, 2019. And Rob Johnson is here.
What's up, guys? I was going to say, hey, this is Johnny Bean. Is this thing on? But didn't work. I don't know what's going on, but I'm showing waiting for Johnny Bean. That's strange. Mm-hmm. I just reloaded everything too, and I'm showing off air.
Weird. I don't know. There's people here. Thrash metal and fun riffs. I see the video. I see it.
I see the video. This is the first time it's ever said off air.
Weird.
Okay, if you guys can hear us, please say yes, you're live. Because I'm not seeing anything. Someone say yes, you're live.
Here's proof. There's proof right there, see?
Yeah. I'm not getting it, though.
Maybe refresh.
Okay, let me jump back. Let me jump out and jump back on. Hold on a second.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Since Rob's not here, Rob's been texting me all day wanting to go live, so... Hey.
Yeah, it still says off. I don't know why.
Weird.
That is.
Uh-oh, now we got the echo, too.
I can fix that in a second, but I don't know why this... My chat won't even...
Thrash Metal says, yes, you're live.
Okay. Cool. Well, hold on, maybe I can get live chat. Here we go. Yep. Okay, now for some reason my iPad shows off air, but that's okay because my iPhone shows the chat, so I see. Hey Thrash, Simon Williams, David Ennis. Yep. Okay. You are alive. Thank you, Thrash Metal. Cool. All right. So what's going on?
Man, just crazy busy, man. Hey, Janice. Yeah. Hey, Anthony. I've been just doing, the usual. Let me just say the usual.
Yeah.
Let's see. And that does not sound good, man.
Yeah, I know.
The audio on your side is not good for that. It just sounds like a bunch of just static and stuff.
Sounds like crap, yeah. So. No, it's really because I'm just a crash player. No, I'm just kidding. Well,
no, it's not your playing at all. It's not your playing at all. It's just the audio. That's why I keep telling you guys: headphones, microphones. I tell all you guys, you got to do it. You got to do it. Otherwise, the audio is not going to sound good. Looks cold, Janice. Yeah, I don't know why I'm wearing this. I did not want to be wearing this when we were gonna start, but It just happened.
Yeah, and it's colder here. It's like 5 degrees here in Massachusetts. And Johnny's out in California, and he's wearing a jacket parka. But
I know.
802 Blues, what's going on? How you doing? Simon, Janice, Charlie, Eduardo, what's going on? Cool.
Awesome.
I got one word for today, and that is Ubob 2. Ubob 2.
Oh, look at that. That's cool. The Ubob 2. Let's see.
For those of you that don't know what that means, I don't even know what it means. But something that Eddie had on the back of his guitar. Mm-hmm. Back in 1980, 81-ish.
You know what I heard? Maybe I told you this. When David Lee Roth had his radio show, when he replaced Howard Stern for a little bit,
2001, whatever it was,
whenever that was, Roth actually said that it was. He actually says this. He says it was his idea for Eddie to stripe his guitar. Mm-hmm. He said he got the idea from the bass player from the Clash, I believe. And this is Roth. Roth actually said this. You can actually find the audio where he says this stuff. He said he got the idea. I'm thinking this is what it was. I heard it. I heard this a while ago. He said it was his idea to stripe the guitar. He got the idea from the bass player from the Clash, because if you look at his bass, you see like stripes on it.
Yeah.
And then he said he named Eddie's guitar Ubob, or whatever it is, Ubab. He said he named his guitar Ubab, and I'm assuming he's talking about the original Frankenstein.
Nice.
You know, and that's from David Lee Roth. He said that himself.
Simon Williams says Rob is very quiet. And hold on, 802 Blues. I want to find out where you live in Vermont, because I'm just the next state down. Johnny, I'm going to jump out and jump back in. Maybe that'll help with me being quiet or echo. Hold on.
Well, no, it's just because you don't have a mic. Yeah. You guys, I've told Rob 1,000,000 times to fix his audio.
Okay, is that any better, Simon?
It's the same. It's the same, but it's basically it's the equivalent of me doing this. So however I sound right now is probably how you sound.
Okay.
Actually, you probably sound better. You probably sound better. I got.
Okay. How is that? Is that any better? How about now?
No.
They turned this thing.
Look at this. I look like a fisherman or something. I got the hat and the beard and the black shirt. I didn't realize this.
Actually, hold on. I have something that might work here. Wait a minute. Let's see. I hate headphones on. These are plug-in headphones, but hold on one second.
Do they have a mic attached? Hopefully they don't disable your mic.
No. That's what I'm hoping too. Wait a minute. Hold on. Better?
Right there?
How about that?
That might be better. Yeah.
Test. Is that okay?
I think that's good. Where's your mic?
Wait a minute.
I think your mic is within the beats.
Yeah, it must be. So maybe if I...
Thrash Metal says a little better. Simon Williams says no better. It's a good thing nobody's watching this.
Now?
It's a good thing there's nobody actually watching at all.
Okay, how about now?
No.
I'm plugged directly into the iPad.
That's worse. That's worse.
This is worse?
Yeah. It was better before.
So this is definitely worse. Okay, this has got to be better.
It's not terrible. I mean, I'm wearing these, so I don't know. Let me.
Hear you like loud. Okay.
Yeah, here I'll give you. And we weren't actually going to talk about anything, so this is fine.
Okay.
Okay, you want to see? Okay, this is what you sound like. I'm going to go ahead and play this. It might loop, but this is actually. Where's my? Here we go. This is what you sound like.
Cool.
Awesome.
I got one word for today, and that is Oobob 2. Oobob. See, I hear
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
How far back
Oobob
is that?
2.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Let's see. Cool. Here we go.
How far back
Oobob
is that?
2.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Let's see. Cool.
Give me a. How come it's not live? Hang on.
Let's see. Cool.
Give me a. How come it's not live? Hang on.
Let's see. Cool.
What am I hearing?
Okay, Johnny, I'll tell you what. Hang on one second. I'm going to fix this issue right now.
We should have fixed this before we went live, man.
I thought this was going to be good. Hold on.
You thought this was going to be good.
Just 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Be right back.
Now he's leaving.
Hold on.
Oh man, the second option was better. Since he's not here, I'll tell you guys. I tell all these guys, get headphones, get a microphone. Otherwise, your audio is going to suck. You know? You guys never see me sitting here without this stuff. But yeah, I keep telling them. Nobody listens to me. Jimmy T, hey, good to see you, man. Anyway, we're just Rob has been texting me all day long, wanting to go live, and so here we are. I told him I had like an hour or so before I had to hit the studio. I've got a studio session tonight at about 4 o'clock, but I'm thinking I should get there probably an hour or two earlier. We got some background vocals we gotta record. But yeah, hope everybody's having a great day. We need a third stooge. I think Rob called him, but he was busy. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, just busy all day. I hope everybody enjoyed the show last night. If you guys checked out the video from last night. If not, check it out once we're done here. And also, I forgot to mention this last night. I mean to mention this, but if you're brand new to these videos, subscribe to the channel, and you'll get all sorts of fun stuff like this. Still working on Hallelujah, Simon? Yep, that's it. Exactly. And we have to do background vocals tonight. I sent an email.
All right, how's that?
I sent an email to everybody. Oh, that's better.
Okay. See, this is why we can't have nice things, because of people like me.
Yeah, that's way better. That's yeah. Well, you're loud. I mean, you're loud at least. I mean, it's a little bit. I hear a little bit of the room, but at least you're louder. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you need to hear. Is you need to hear more of my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody hears enough of my voice. Like I said, this is why we can't have nice things, is people like me mess everything up over there. Right, Barney? Barney says, yes, people like you mess things up all the time. Right, Barney? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, everybody,
okay.
Am I blurry? Why would I be blurry? Makes no sense. Thank you, David. David Ennis says last night was great. Yeah, last night was fun. A lot of fun. Mancuda.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Huh?
What'd you guys do last night?
Oh, it was those guys are crazy, man.
Last night was fun. I'm like, what?
Those guys are nuts.
Yeah. Hey, I want to give a little shout out to our good buddy Caleb, Nerd Halen. Our good buddy Caleb Rapoport. Awesome guy, awesome dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my Caleb I was going to say Caleb Halen.
Caleb Halen.
I've got my
he plays
Caleb
like that.
I've got my Caleb Halen guitar picks. Actually, they're stuck to the 84 guitar in the closet.
Johnny, you need to send me one of your Johnny Bean picks.
Yeah. I didn't give you any?
I want to put it. No, I want to put one in our picture. I want to have it framed in our picture, you and me together from NAMM.
Man. Yeah, I still have some left. Right there.
Yeah, I definitely want one. Yep.
Still have some left. I'm surprised I didn't give you one, but
no, I just think you were going to, but I think we just forgot. I think that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got here.
Clayton James Hicks. Today is Wolfgang Wednesday. That's right.
Yes,
Welcome,
sir.
man.
Where's Clayton?
Where's my Wolfgang? I'm gonna have to put a Wolfgang up here. Actually, plus I got to do something I said I was going to do before we started. So, Rob, you take it. This is yours.
All right. Well, hey, listen. We were going to talk for a little bit today about the Neptune guitar, and Neptune guitar is the Kramer guitar that Eddie built back in 1982 with Paul Unkert. It was one of the last guitars that Paul painted. And you guys have seen a couple of the hangouts that we've done before, and we've talked a little bit about about this guitar and maybe about this particular incident. I'll put this guitar down for a sec. But ooh, vodka, great. You got to have vodka. No, actually, it is vodka and ginger ale. Anyways, so Eddie started working with Kramer back in, I want to say, 1982, early 82. He started talking with Dennis Berardi, who was the president of Kramer back in 1981. And essentially, what happened was Eddie was kind of going back and forth. He was playing the Frankenstrat and the Fair Warning tour. And you guys saw some of those pictures of the the blue Yamaha that Eddie played with a red tape all over it in the 1980 era. Somebody had given Eddie a Yamaha guitar, and he was kind of playing around. He hadn't really decided who he was going to endorse at that time. He was doing his Frankenstrat and, you know, playing the Star guitar and all that kind of stuff. And basically what happened was he was trying out different companies and things like that. And around 1982, there's another guitar that we're going to wait to talk about that kind of came out in the Fair Warning tour that some of you guys might have seen in the on Facebook over the last week or so. We're going to wait on that because Dave Nesdahl wants to be on that call and we start talking about that. Johnny, Dave, and I have some information on that. And Chris Hubbard actually brought me into that conversation, but hang tight on that. We're going to kind of postpone that we're going to put that on the 6th for a second. But 1982, Eddie starts talking to Dennis Berardi, late 81, 82, and they have a meeting, and Eddie goes and essentially wants someone to essentially replicate his Frankenstrat guitar. So what they came up with is Kramer actually built Eddie a guitar that looked like a shark guitar, like his shark guitar, and Eddie hated it. It was painted. There's pictures of the body online, and Eddie hated it, but he liked the neck, and this is what the neck looked like. Had the headstock just like this. It was a Gibson Explorer Ibanez Destroyer type neck, and it had a maple fretboard. So Eddie liked the neck, but he said no. He said, I want something like my Frankenstrat. So he said, I want a Strat style body. So one of the folks that was at Kramer went upstairs and goes, I think we got something. They came out with this Strat style body, which had some fatter horns on it. and it was made by a company that was called Walker at the time, and they were kind of working with Kramer. I'm not quite sure the whole uh, um, relationship that had transpired, but it was called a Walker body, and it was by Kramer. And basically, what you had was this, and this was what was called the Kramer Ad Frankie, and there's all kinds of pictures. And you'll see the top horn here is a lot fatter. It's thicker than what a normal Strat horn is, and the bottom one as well. Now, the thickness of the body is just about the same, and it's a Strat style body, but the top horns were a little thicker, and that was the kind of transparent to the Walker bodies. And this is what the back looked like as far as we can know. There's not a lot of great shots of the back of this guitar, but there are some videos online of the Caracas and Sao Paulo video, and this is the best we can determine what the back looks like. And it had a thicker white stripe around the side, the border of the guitar, not like the 5150, which was ½ inch. This is a 3/4 inch thick stripe. And this is kind of what the guitar looked like. So this was called the Kramer Ad guitar, and there's pictures of Eddie playing this guitar with a body not painted with a black pickguard on it, black partial pickguard, but the headstock painted because, like I said, they ripped that neck off of that kind of destroyer-looking VX kind of thing that Eddie hated. And he said, I don't want that. I don't like that at all. I want a Strat-style body. So they put this neck on that Walker-style body, and Eddie was playing it, and he really liked it. So they went to town and they ended up painting it like this, and this became the Kramer Ad guitar. So over the course of, and I'm not looking at the chat now, I'll open my phone here in a second, so hang tight on your questions just for a second. So over the course of the next year and a half, Kramer painted approximately, as far as we know, coming from Paul Unkert, Kramer painted approximately 25 to maybe 30 guitars for Ed with the Frankenstrat style, the pickguard, you know, the Strat style, you know, with a single, and they would route out a humbucker, basically just like the Frankenstrat, and they went off of that design. And there's guitars out there like the auction guitar, the Vitas Gerolitis guitar, which is owned by Music Zoo. What's his name? Tommy Coletti owns that guitar, and I've actually seen that guitar. It's a great guitar. There's a few others out there. Actually, there's a bunch of them. The heavy metal guitar was another one. And basically, they all had the same type of configuration. They had the single, and all of the humbuckers were routed differently. Well, if you get online, and I don't have my copy available yet, but if you get online and you look, this is what one of the guitars looked like. And this was called the Neptune guitar. And there's a picture of Eddie with a Neptune guitar when it was completed. And you can tell it had an interesting stripe design on it. And it was a single humbucker type route. And the humbucker route was done very, very crudely. And it wasn't widened like the Kramer Ad guitar was. It was done basically just enough to fit a humbucker in there. And it had a whale tail Floyd on it. Notice the brass tuners, and it's hard to tell. You can't see, but that is an actual whale tail. There's no pick guard on it. However, that guitar was built by Paul Unkert and painted by Paul Unkert. And there's pictures in Young Guitar Mags and Player Mags and different types of things. And there's a new Player Mag that just came out 2019, February, that shows a remake of that. And it shows Eddie spraying it, but that was basically just a photo shoot. Eddie didn't really paint that guitar per se. He did some damage to the guitar, as we'll call it, which turned out to be amazing, and we all love it. And we'll talk about that in a second. But what happened was that particular guitar, the Neptune guitar, was done for a photo shoot. And when Dave Nesdahl, myself, Anthony Sajazi, and a couple other people met with Paul Unkert at Paul Unkert's shop in New Jersey about 3 years ago. We went to Paul Unkert's shop, and I had my replica, and Paul actually stamped it and everything. And I still have that guitar. It's being repainted. I'll show you in a minute. Paul told us an interesting story about that guitar, and some of you guys may already know this, but this is kind of how the story went. Eddie came in, in the morning, and he said, "Hey, I want a guitar, and I want it done by the end of today, painted, put together, and everything." And he came in, did some pictures with it, like showing that he was painting it and everything, and all that. And at the end, when it was getting put together, he came, had some other pictures when it was, had all the black stripes on it. But basically, what happened was Eddie came in the morning and said, "I want this guitar done." So they went to town, and they had a Kramer deluxe type body, Kramer Pacer deluxe type body, and routed out the spot for the humbucker. And Paul painted the body, and he painted it, red and white. It was like a sunset orange type color, very close to the 5150 in the 1984. And then they painted it, painted it white, then striped it up, painted it red, pulled the tape off. And as the story goes, according to Paul, they went out to lunch. And when they came back from lunch, the guitar looked a lot different. Okay. Now, what we don't know is how much of the black Eddie sprayed on it or whatever. We're not quite sure. But they had the red and the white painted, and I'll see if I can find a picture of this. Stand by. I may or may not have a picture of what it would have looked like at that time. Stand by. I don't. Actually, I think I do. Okay. So, what we think the guitar. Maybe I don't. I thought I did. Okay, what we think the guitar looked like. There's a couple of black stripes here, but we think the guitar looked something like this. Okay, you won't see the big blotches and everything on it. We think the guitar looked something like that, minus the black. Okay, they went out to lunch, and they came back, and all of a sudden Eddie's in there, and the guitar's got all this black paint like dripping off the body, and there's these big polka dots on it, and all this weird stuff. And according to Paul, he was like, "What the heck?" Of course, he may or may not have said this to Eddie. He couldn't recall. But Paul basically said, his words were, "I was totally pissed off because I spent the whole morning working on that guitar." And Eddie just comes in and, just hoses it down with black, and there's paint dripping off of it and everything. And again, that's why when you see the guitar with Eddie holding it, where is it?
But
you're seeing a picture like this, and it's got all these blotches, and there's paint dripping off the bottom and everything, and polka dots on it. Because Eddie just came in and said, "Oh, I want to have some fun." So he put some tape on, and he sprayed it and just painted all these polka dots, and some of the paint ran down.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes the
What were you
guitar
gonna say,
cool.
John?
That's what makes the guitar so cool. Are
Exactly.
the paint that's dripping.
Exactly.
Plus, I mean,
Exactly.
I can understand why he'd be mad, because if he was, working the guitar up. But if the artist, that comes in and customizes the guitar, I think that just makes it cooler.
I totally agree. And here's a video Johnny and I were right next to each other, and Johnny has his own video. Here's a video of this guitar today, and we'll talk about it in just a second. Here's a video of what the guitar looks like today. You can see the headstock, really, really cool headstock. It has a very paddle-like style. There's also some gook on the first, second, and third fret. Really, really cool. Definitely a little bit of a different pattern than the normal Kramers. Headstock shaped a little bit differently. Now we get down to the body here, and you can see there's one of the polka dots. Some running on the side. It ran down the side, very primitively. But you can see another one there. Another one there. See how it ran all over the place? Kind of the lines just stopped. The paint ran. Really kind of cool. And it's got the typical single humbucker route, although it was a basic, zebra style pickup. Hardware was incredibly aged, very aged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that guitar is really,
Very
really
cool.
cool. It's super cool to see that thing in person. And I had forgotten, because the last time I saw that guitar, the last time I was at that Hard Rock was maybe 2015,
Yeah.
maybe, you know. And I filmed a video of it then, but the camera isn't as nice as, like an
Yeah.
iPhone camera. So the
Right.
quality isn't as good, but I had forgotten how close up you can get to that guitar. How it's
Yeah.
literally it's behind a what do you call it? The case that it's in.
Like yeah, it's like a glass case type
The
thing. Yeah.
well, I don't know if it's glass. It might be what do you call it?
Plexiglass.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
plexiglass case, but you're like right. It's like right there in your face. That guitar.
You're right on it. You're right on it. Yeah, you're right on it. There's a couple other photos. Those are the videos that Johnny and I took. Johnny's got his own too, but here's a couple of close-up shots that I took, which I thought were really cool. And it was really awesome to be able to see this guitar with Johnny and Caleb right there, a guitar that we all kind of, fantasize about. And here it is. Oh, so here's a couple pictures. Here's a picture of that I took of, you can see the paint running right there. Really, really cool. There's no fine tuners on the Floyd because somebody ripped them off or whatever. Here's a good picture of the Floyd. Can tell it's a whale tail. No fine tuners. Let's see. Here's the polka dot on the top that Eddie came in and painted.
It's possible it's possible those fine tuners were either stolen, because that guitar was on display, I want to say, in Florida.
Yeah, it was Orlando.
Where it was on the wall and it wasn't behind a case. And I think it wasn't that guitar. It was a different Kramer. There's so many of them. But I remember seeing a picture of somebody like touching one of them, like they posed with it, and they're actually touching the guitar. Not that guitar, but another one.
Right.
And this was years ago. This was probably, well, I think I saw the picture like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So those fine tuners are probably either stolen because somebody could just take them out, or they might have been removed so they wouldn't be taken.
Yeah.
Actually, there is. Do you have the pictures of that guitar? Like when there's pictures of somebody restringing the guitar.
Yeah, I do. I can find them in a minute. Let me show these pictures, Johnny. Then you can chat for a second, and I'll find these. I do have those pictures. Here's a picture of the bottom polka dot, and you can tell the paint just ran right down. It was so cool, so cool. And then here's a picture of the headstock. Now it's hard to tell, guys, but for those of you guys that have real keen eyes, you can tell that headstock. It's a little shorter and a little more paddle-like than the 5150 1984 Kramer Ad guitars that were out there. It's a hockey stick headstock, but it's a little more paddle-like it's a little shorter. And Paul Unkert actually said there was actually 3 versions of headstocks that he had, and I saw the original templates. He showed us the original templates that Eddie had come up with. Eddie and Paul Unkert had come up with back in '82, and he still had them on paper. And they would put these on the wood and trace it out, and that's how they cut them. And there was 3 guitars that these original templates came from. One was the 5150, one was the Hot for Teacher, and the other was the Kramer Ad Frankie. And they're all just a little bit different, hard to tell. And the rest of them were all kind of just done at random. But there's 3 templates: 5150, Hot for Teacher, and Kramer Ad Frankie. Those were the 3 templates. Everything else was done kind of at random. Keep that in mind because that's very important. That's why you see some that are kind of just off. Some are short and stubby. Some are, a little longer. I'm not even talking about the pointy headstock ones. Those are totally different. I'm talking about the hockey stick headstocks. Those 3 templates were the ones that they actually went off of. And everything after that, when Paul took over, when Paul left, were done at random. Now, there's another guy out there, George Felice, who's a friend of mine on Facebook. Some of you guys might know George. There's some amazing pictures of him out there. George, if you're watching this guy painted a bunch of Van Halen Kramer guitars, and I would I'd love to get George on the show sometime and we could talk to him. Amazing guy. I'm sure he can share some more insight than what Paul shared with us too, some additional insight. But from what Paul said, all the other headstocks were done at random. So here's a picture of me standing right next to it. Here's another picture of the top horn or the bottom horn. You've got some relicking on it. Here's the top horn, very, very relic. Now here's an awesome picture I took up close. Here's the Floyd Rose post, and you can see how close they cut the humbucker route. See where it's split right there, the wood split? And you can tell the Floyd Rose posts, the wood screws were a little different. They had a fatter top head on them, and the slots for the flatheads were a little thicker in between. They were a little wider. And that's an original whale tail. So that's an original whale tail Floyd Rose post. All right. Now look how it split the wood. That's really interesting because a lot of Eddie's guitars were like that. Here's a picture of one of the black stripes. You can see how like worn it is. And there's a lot of grain in that guitar. Look at that. Really cool. Here's the Seagull right here. You can tell there was some overspray right there within the Seagull. Really, really cool. This is going to be kind of a Kramer Neptune guitar. Here's a picture of me next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw this guitar back in 2014, but I didn't really pay as much attention to it back then. Now, look at this. Here's the humbucker. There's a little piece of wood in there, a little shim, like somebody stuck in there. Now, I'll speak for Johnny and Caleb and I. We're not really sure that, we don't think that was necessarily in there when Eddie did it. Somebody else did that, we think. Here's a picture of Caleb, Johnny, and I standing next to it, the three of us. Really, really cool. Here's a picture of the middle five-way switch. Now notice, it's not drilled in, it's not attached by two screws going into the side of the cavity. It's drilled straight down. Straight down it's drilled. And you'll see it on my replica. And that's pretty much it. But again, guys, just want to clarify for you guys, get the chat going here. When we met with Paul Unkert, this is really important information for you Kramer fanatics. There was 3 templates. I'm going to say it one more time. And we saw the original 3 templates. There was 3 templates. There was the 5150, the Hot for Teacher, and the Kramer Ad Frank. I saw the original templates that Paul used to cut those headstocks out. All the other headstocks that were made, like the the heavy metal guitar, the Neptune we're talking about now, those were all just done at random. But it was those 3 templates that most people go off of, and that's why the headstocks on some of these guitars, like this one, are a little bit shorter. Now, the last pictures I'm going to show you are of my particular Neptune that's being worked on right now. Hubbard is redoing my Neptune guitar right now, Hubs, and it's an original Kramer body. Here it is right now. You can tell. It doesn't have the polka dots on it. It's all white striped. It's got the seagulls on it, and he's doing the polka dots tonight. But you can tell it's really, really close. He actually kind of refabricated the humbucker pickup to make it a little bit smaller. And show you the headstock. Here we go. And here's the headstock. He actually reshaped, it's a Musicraft neck. He reshaped the headstock. It's all done. You can tell it's very paddle-like. It almost looks like a boat oar. Very paddle-like. He had to kind of thin it down a little bit and cut it down and make it more paddle-like. This was one of those random headstocks that did not go off the template. So that's really, key to know when you're building 5150s and you're building Hot for Teachers or Kramer Ad guitars. You can get away with this regular, Musicraft hockey stick headstocks, but there was an original template for each one of those, and they're all a little bit different. Everything else is kind of just, you kind of go out of eyeball it because they did not go off a template. That's why they're a little different.
That's awesome.
And some really really kind of cool. And I'll show you guys while I'm waiting for my Neptune to come back, because Hubbard's redoing it. Here's my Floyd Rose. Now I have an original whale tail on my 5150, but this is the whale tail that I'm using for my Neptune. It's not a whale tail. However, I added the nut, went to the hardware store and I got that nut right there. You'll notice it's got the play in it like Eddie's. Now it's not a whale tail bar because it doesn't extend far down like the whale tail does, but I got some original nuts, just like a whale tail nut, put the washers in there. I took a brass block, painted it silver to look like a steel block, took those two useless pieces off of the bottom, so your screws just kind of flop like that. Took the blocks, grazed them on my bench grinder so they look like they're steel, took the black off them, and then took some sandpaper to the fine tuners to make them look brass. And basically that's how you can take an original Floyd Rose and make it as whale tailish as you want. And then here's my pick guard that I custom cut myself. Doesn't have any of the other stuff on it. Here's the humbucker for it. Here, and I'm to go through all this stuff. I'll show one other thing. Here is my 6 Kramer neck plate. I drilled 2 additional holes to make it six holes for 6 screws. And I have an original prototype nut go on there with the humpback clamps. And last but not least, what I did on my gold, you can't really see it, but I did on my gold input jack is I took some salt and hot water and actually just dunked this in there for about 2 hours. And I kind of added a little bit of corrosion on it to make it look a little bit more kind of corroded, because Eddie's just pretty nasty. So for those of you guys that are thinking about building a Neptune, just some little tidbits you guys can do. Because I think that's probably one of my favorite Kramer guitars is that Neptune guitar, because it's so randomly done. You know what I mean?
It's cool. I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it. And also,
I think it's a lot of cool.
Is my guitar left-handed to you? It is, isn't it?
No, it looks good. No, it looks right-handed. No. Yeah, I could just pick it up and no, it's good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, that looks right-handed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't,
That's right-handed. Oh, yeah.
I might be backwards. I'm not sure, though.
We're gonna look back on the questions here, see if we had any questions.
Soda Pop. Yeah, if you look at the window we're using for this stream is Hangouts, but if you notice, it says we're off air. We didn't go live using Hangouts. We're using Streamlabs. We're using what I've been telling everybody we're going to be using eventually full time is this. I am backwards. Yeah. Yeah, that's because
no, you look frontwards to me for some reason.
Huh? Oh,
you look good to me.
You're looking at a different window. You're looking at you're looking at the Hangouts window where I probably look normal, but the window that everybody else is seeing is reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, yeah, I'm using Streamlabs. Like when I go live, solo, this is what I use, and I figured since we were going to go live and just, BS for a little bit, I would do some testing. And yeah, right. Rob's not backwards. No. Rob's not backwards. I am though. Yeah.
Well, I am left-handed, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you should be backwards.
Here's the funny thing. I'm left-handed, but I'm not as left-handed as Mark Kazansky is. Mark Kazansky plays left-handed guitars. Mm-hmm. No, I am left-handed. The funny thing about me is I throw a ball left-handed. I write left-handed. But I play guitar right-handed. I golf right-handed. I bat for baseball right-handed. I'm all messed up. I'm right-eye dominant. I'm not left-eye dominant.
Was
It's
it
kind of strange. I'm all
was it easy? Was it easy learning guitar right-handed?
okay. So here's the one thing
Or
about.
do you
Well,
think you
here's the one thing. Go
do
ahead.
do you think guitar would be easier if you played it left-handed?
I can't even imagine playing left-handed now. It's funny because the thing about I purposely I knew I didn't start playing guitar until I was like 23 years old. All right, it was
Wow.
1996,
I was
and I was
by the time you were that age, I had already been playing guitar for like 12 years
right,
or something.
right. I got a real late start on playing guitar. I've been playing guitar for like 22 years now because I'm 45 now, and I started playing when I was like 23. But I didn't know anything about it, so I said, well, I'll just learn how to play righty. And I'm glad I did because all my guitars are right-handed guitars. And like I said, the interesting thing about me is when I started playing guitar, I talked to my guitar teacher. He's a great guy, Matt Kim. He was a younger guy, maybe a couple of years older than me, incredible guitarist. I asked him, I said, should I learn how to play guitar lefty or righty? And he told me, well, how do you do? I go, well, I write lefty, I throw a ball lefty, but I bat righty and I golf righty. He goes, you know what? He goes, it sounds like you're kind of obviously your left hand is your more dominant hand, but he goes, just learn how to play guitar right-handed because you don't know any better right now. And you can, figure it out. And I'm glad I did because all the guitars that I have, I wouldn't have been able to have in a lefty. So for me right now to learn how to play a guitar lefty, which would be like this, it doesn't even feel right. I mean, righty is how I would normally want to play. So I forced myself to learn righty.
If you learned how to play left-handed, and if you had made all those guitars like you did, but if you made them all left-handed guitars, would you be the only like Van Halen guitar replica collector with left-handed guitars? Is there anybody out there with all lefties?
Mark Kazansky would probably be the only one that comes to mind. I mean, he doesn't have the collection that I have, but he does
a
have
collection
a lot of
though.
Van Halen guitars. He's got 5150s, and I would probably be the one with the biggest lefty collection. Yeah, probably. But like I said, I mean, for me, I wanted to learn righty because at 23 years old, it really didn't even matter, And I'm glad that I did now. I mean, Mark and I have kind of, had good conversations about this over the years. We kind of joked about it. I mean, it could have been, 6 and 1, half dozen the other, but I'm glad that being a left-handed guitar player, I can only imagine has got to be a little more difficult when you're looking for particular guitars. So for me at that stage of my life, I was like, heck with it. I'll just learn how to play righty and I can get what I want, No, I'm not slamming left-handed guitar players. I mean, that's awesome. Sometimes I wonder if I would be a better guitarist if I was lefty. Maybe I would. I mean, Jimi Hendrix was a left-handed guitar player, But hard to say. Very, hard saying not knowing, but.
Yeah, actually, the other guitar player, I don't know if you know, but I'm recording a cover version of Hallelujah, the song.
Yeah.
And the other guitar player on the project is left-handed, and he plays left-handed guitars. And hey, Jay. We're tiny. Yeah, just doing some testing some stuff out. We were full screen, but then for some reason it was just a mess.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Anyway, the other guitarist in this project is left-handed, and he plays left-handed. He brings left-handed guitars to the sessions. Yeah. And I was trying to show him how to play something on the guitar. This was a week ago, maybe week and a half ago, and so I had to play his left-handed guitar upside down. And I had, so the low E string was all the way on the bottom, high E string was up here, and I had.
How do you do that?
I had to figure out the chords backwards and strum up.
That's got to be tough.
This way to show him what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, um, but I wish the biggest problem, well, it's not a problem, but is he plays a 12 string, an electric and acoustic 12 string guitars.
Yeah.
And there's this one part that I play that I want to change it to his part.
Yeah.
But so it's like, can you play this? And so I'm gonna have to tell him, dude, if you're watching this, I don't think he's watching, but he's gonna have to learn a couple parts on to replace my part, because I want to hear it on 12 string instead of 6 string.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because when I was at Nesdal's house a couple weeks ago, he's got the Jimi Hendrix Strat. Now, it wasn't quite as dramatic as what you just talked about, but Dave's got the Jimi Hendrix Strat, and it's upside down. So, I mean, the strings are the same way. They're set up for a righty, but it's the guitar is upside down. So you got the big horn on the bottom and the small one, and the whammy bar is on top, and the knobs are right here. So it was a little different. You know, I had never played a guitar like that, so I could only imagine what Hendrix had to deal with.
Uh-oh. Rob says when he freezes like this, don't panic. He's just going to drop out and come back. Hey, Amanda. Showing a left-handed guitarist is easier if you both have your guitars, Jay says. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I take a guitar with me actually, I'll be taking, not this guitar, I'll be taking the naked Wolfgang, as we call it.
Yeah.
I'll be taking that one with me tonight. Yeah, you
I
froze.
I guess Hangouts just can't handle my incredible good looks. That must be what it is. So just that, just overwhelms itself. So, anyways, Mully's kind of going back and forth. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Mully and just say he's a good buddy of mine. And he helped me get that Amber Music Man, which is one of my favorite guitars now. He's a great guy. He can't jump on. He said he's got to get ready for work because he lives over in Japan. But I just want to say, Mully, I got one question for you. You're the most beautiful guy I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you got the amazing smile. Do you own any other shirts? Because whenever I see you, it's that black and white shirt. I mean, is that the only shirt you own? Because if you need another shirt, I can buy you one, bro. And I'm just joking with you, dude. I'm just joking with you. Just laughing because I have that favorite shirt, that favorite sweatshirt of mine. I have that one gray cut-off hoodie that I wear all the time. But no, I'm just giving you a hard time. But Mully's a great guy. And I was hoping maybe one of these days I can get over. I'd love to go over to Japan and meet with him in Tomoko. Just it'd be a lot of fun. Who was I talking to the other day that said, "Oh, we were talking to Jason. What's his last name? McNamara." It was on the hangout. Yeah. We're talking. We're talking to Jason. Yeah, and he was like, "You guys got to come over, and we gotta go to Ichibachi and all these other places." And of course, he knows Mully too. That would be so much fun if we could all go over to Japan and check out all the cool stuff that we don't get in the States.
That'd be crazy. that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah, because he was saying the guitar stores there are just incredible. Mully said the same thing. Mully has said before that the stores there were just insane.
Yeah, he says you go into a guitar store and it's the size of a damn mall. Literally.
Yeah, like there's like streets that are just nothing but guitar stores or something.
Yeah. Speaking of Ichibashi, Chris Hubbard and I were talking today, and you guys got to check this out. So he was interested in building one of the Eddie 90s era Music Man '2 backups. And for those of you Eddie freaks, you guys will know that Eddie had a lot of Music Mans in 91, 92, 93, 4, 5, whatever. Right up from the For Unlawful tour to the Live right here, right now to the Balance tour. And towards the end of the Balance tour, he switched over to Peavy's. But as far as we know, he had 2 purple Ernie Ball Music Man's original EVHs, obviously, that were his main guitar. Well, he had a green one and he also had a black one, a transparent black one, but he had two purple ones that he played frequently. And if you guys watch the Pensacola show, you'll see one of the Music Mans that he played was a purple Music Man with a purple headstock with a signature on the headstock. And if you guys see any of those videos from the It's About Time video to the 2007 pictures that came out that leaked about a year ago or so, they show this guitar kind of hanging on 5150. Eddie had the short blondish hair. That was a purple Ernie Ball Music Man EVH model with a sustainer in it. And it had the sustainer knobs with some little indicators on it. I have some young guitar mags that actually show a little sticker says on, off, whatever. And that was the only guitar that actually had stickers on it that said had on, off, and some other stuff. That was a guitar that he played. He played the Cathedral, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Eruption solo. And I think he used it a few other times then as well. However, the other backup Kramer he had, and there's a lot of pictures of it, and we've all seen it. It was a purple quilt top body with a black headstock with no signature on the headstock, like his amber one. So that's kind of a cool one. Now, my good friend Scott Smith made a replica of that, and I saw it at the EVH Con. It was amazing. He did an amazing job of it. Now, Hubbard was looking at doing one too, so we just picked up this Axis DX, which is perfect for that, because you're going to sand the headstock down and repaint it anyways, black, and then put a logo on with no signature. So he just got this in today. Check this body out. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's an Axis DX, and it came from Ichibachi. I'm sorry that here's a better picture, actually. Look at the quilt top on this. Absolutely gorgeous. So those of you guys, we've already talked about these Music Man Axis EXs. You've seen my amber one, and I've had a few over the years, but you've seen my amber one, and Dave Nesdahl fell in love with it. He actually, he didn't even want me to steal any of his guitars when I left at 5 a.m. that morning. He wanted to take mine, but they're amazing guitars. They're the exact same thing as what their original are. They're basswood bodies, maple tops. They have a veneer top over them, but they are maple caps. And they're same parts and everything. But anyways, he got this, so he's going to be transforming that into a Music Man EVH number 2 backup with a black headstock, which is going to be pretty cool. So I'm pretty pumped to see that. So that ought to be pretty awesome. So stay tuned, you guys on Facebook or Instagram that you're watching Chris. Check that out. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my buddy Craig, Stavko, CHS Guitars, who did my amazing green Music Man. A good friend of mine, Pete Caruccio, good friend of mine. I want to give a shout out to all my buddies. Mark, everybody. I want to give a shout out to Hazansky, all those guys. Tom Brino, all those guys. A lot of the guys we met at NAMM, Eric, everybody. Want to give a shout out to all those guys. Hope you guys are all doing well, and hopefully 2019 has some cool stuff. I'm kind of going through some difficult times right now with my career, but hopefully some things change for me professionally. But I want to give a shout out to all my friends for sure. Caleb, Johnny, everybody, and again, Johnny, I can't say enough how awesome it was meeting you at NAMM. It was really amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yeah, it was. For sure.
Can't believe I'm taller than you.
No, I'm a little taller than you. Come on, I'm a little taller than you. Who was a cool guy too is Gerd Metzger. Metzger? Did I say last name Metzger?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you'd never met him before?
Gerd, yeah.
Oh.
I'd never met him before. Yeah, that was the first time I met Gerd, and he's got an amazing guitar collection. Incredible Wolfgang.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Every morning, man, I open up Instagram and there's
Oh yeah.
his his uh his Wolfgangs, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Gerd, yeah, he's great, man. I've met him a bunch of times over the years.
That was the first time for me. First time for me. Uh oh. Uh oh.
I don't know. Hang on, I'm gonna see what this is.
So let's see what else. What else can we talk about? Let me open up the chat room. See if you guys got any questions for us. I didn't missed anything. Oh boy, I've been way behind the times. Hang on, guys. Hang on. 7/8. What's going on, Jay?
I think that was a spam call.
Oh, okay. Jimmy T or Todd Soda Pop. Rob, you look younger than 45, bro. Thanks, dude. That's why I date 25-year-old ladies. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Actually, I'm not joking. I've been dating. Never mind. Forget it. I'll leave that alone. I feel 25, but I'm 45. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
And silence falls across the land. Amanda, how you doing? David Ennis, what's going on? Looking for any questions here that we might have missed because I've been yapping on.
Yeah.
Jimmy T, thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah. No, just so you guys know, I'm in the middle of a career change right now. I'm looking at going into business for myself. I'm looking at starting a martial arts and firearms academy, and doing some training for law enforcement and things like that. And obviously, I teach martial arts, so taking a little bit of a turn in my life to kind of go into business for myself. So we'll see what happens. It's all great. And Mully just said, hold on. Mully just sent a message. Hold on. Where is he? Mully says, I have 6 sets of the exact same shirts, shorts, socks. I dress the same every day. I never have to think about what I'm going to wear. Oh, God, that's awesome.
I remember him saying something like that when he was on one time.
Yeah, yeah.
He had like his closet. His closet is just all that same shirt. I don't know. I think I'd go crazy if I wore the same thing every day. You know, I'd go nuts.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I'd go nuts.
25-year-olds are not ladies; they're still girls. Ha! You're lucky. Yeah, Jay, you're right. I've learned the hard way. I'm only going to say this. In the last 3 years, I've had a lot of fun, but certain people I've realized have not matured yet. So I'm working on it.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I'm going to be like Corey Wayne. If you guys don't know who Corey Wayne is, he's a 48-year-old, 49-year-old guy who teaches relationship stuff, and he refuses to get married, just dates and gives relationship advice. Maybe I'm just going to have fun for the rest of my life. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Until the right one comes along. I was married for 17 years, and now I'm just refinding myself. So, but I got all my guitars, so I'm happy. And good friends like Johnny and Dave. And
this is daytime television, man.
Yeah, this is like it's like Dr. Phil with a little touch of Jerry Springer in it.
You just need to stand up and throw a chair, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. David Ennis, Rob Johnson, you rock. Yeah, thank you. Testy switch. Ben Coombs, I'm more of a Corey Feldman, yeah. Gosh. Oh, Molly says, I do have one blue shirt. Same style, just blue instead of black. Okay.
Huh.
Wow.
Maybe
Where'd you
we've
see
seen
that?
that. Maybe we've seen that one time. If you watch his older videos, go back on Mully's channel, you will see him wearing what's the team? What team does he like?
Since he likes the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay,
That's what he
you'll
likes.
see him wearing one of those jerseys. But at the same time, that's all you see him wearing back then. You know?
Yeah.
Maury Povich. Man. Oh,
Amanda
actually,
Coombs, you guys are hilarious.
technically, since we're using OBS, I can actually play guitar on here. I can actually play and it'll
Really?
sound fine. Yeah.
I can't because mine sounds like crap. Whatever.
Let me plug in my guitar real quick, and then we're gonna have to call it soon because I do have to get down to the studio.
Okay.
I've got that session tonight, and I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of just. It's not gonna be fun.
Okay, so Johnny, I put some black electrical tape on my Bumblebee. But see how thick that tape is on Eddie's Bumblebee?
Yeah.
It's really thick. It's like duct tape thickness. Electrical tape is too thin. So I got to find some kind of a black tape that's the consistency of duct tape thickness. I don't know.
Have you tried? Do you have an Ace? Ace Hardware?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How's the guitar sound out there? I think I can actually
Sounds
play
great.
it. I think I can actually
yeah,
play
you
and it
sound
sounds
great.
fine.
You sound good.
See you, Jay.
All right, Jay. Have a good night, Jay. Talk to you later, buddy.
Tell Ellie hello.
Ben Coombs. Ben says they do make black duct tape, and I have some, but it's gray on the other side, dude. That's the problem. It's got when you roll the stuff over, it's the sticky side that's got to be black.
What about
I have white.
what about gaffer's tape? Black gaffer's tape.
Maybe it's gaffer's tape, but all the duct tape out there is all gray on the back, whether it's white, black, or gray. I have that, but that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought then, but I got to find some kind of black tape like electrical tape that's black on the other side that's the same thickness.
Mm-hmm. There's yeah. I know there's got to be what you're looking for out there. I mean, you just got to
I'll find it.
I'm sure Home Depot has it, or you'll find it online. You'll find something.
Monkey says black gaffer tape. Ben Coombs says black. Ben says black masking tape. Yeah, maybe I'll find it. It's not a big deal. I mean, like I said, it's got to be something simple. I'm sure it's out there. Not a big deal. But Johnny was the one that actually brought this up, and I never noticed this about 2 weeks ago. He says, "Hey, did you notice that Gorilla Tape, Todd? I've had black Gorilla Tape, but maybe that or Soda Pop. Gosh, I want to say I ran out of it. Maybe that is black on the back, but I thought it was gray. Maybe you're right. I'll have to check it out." But Johnny was the one that pointed out that the B was the first guitar. This was the first guitar that we know of that Eddie had tape on the top of the body, on the lower horn, that he's sticking picks to. He never did that on a black and white Frankie. He never did that on the Star or anything like that. But it was VH2 Tour 1979. He started doing that, and it was black tape. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna check on the Gorilla Tape.
It was either electrical tape or gaffer's tape.
Yeah.
Either one, because sometimes it looked like either one.
So here's my question: what is the difference between duct tape and gaffer's tape? What is the difference? I've seen both, but what's the difference?
I think gaffer's tape is stronger.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have any. I don't have any here, but.
What does gaffer's tape mean? What is it? And I'm asking you guys in the chat. Tell me, what is gaffer's tape, and what is the difference between gaffer's tape and duct tape? I'm only asking this because I've heard this for years, but I've never. It's one of those questions that I've never thought to ask. What's the difference? And does the regular hardware store have gaffer's tape? Because they all have duct tape. What's the difference? Let's see what the people say.
Is it okay if I play for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Gaffer's tape doesn't leave a residue. Tessie Switch says. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you sound awesome.
What's that song
To
I
me.
play? Gaffer's tape peels clean.
Johnny, play the Darth Vader song. Yeah, but
Darth Vader.
guys, I've had gaffer's tape on my old 5150, and it feels like a fabric, where duct tape feels like a rubber. There's got to be a different inconsistency.
I don't know if I'm in tune. I just dropped my pick.
That sounds good. That sounds
Wow.
awesome to me.
Does it sound okay? Oh, I don't have a
Sounds
whammy
like
bar.
crap.
I don't have a whammy. I don't got no wiggle stick. My finger. I don't tap, so my fingernail's too long. I can't.
There you go.
How embarrassing. My fingernail's so long, I can't tap. I can't hit harmonics. Ah, it's awful. Are you tuned regular? Yeah.
I think I'm tuned. Yeah, I'm regular. Yeah, I'm trying to play that. I'm trying to play that part in AFU. Yeah.
Whoa.
It goes into something, then he goes into something. It's something like that. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But
Awesome. Well, hey, sorry, I got to
Zach?
split, man. Hey, Zach.
all right, no problem. Yeah,
I gotta
what's
go.
up, Zach? Yeah, no problem.
I gotta get out of
Yeah,
here.
That's cool.
I got a studio session I gotta get to. I gotta
No problem.
crack the whip.
It's all good,
I
bro.
guess as it is.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this. I know we look the format's a little different. We're changing things up. And we pause. That's right. We're just gonna pause until next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amanda Coombs, Ben Coombs. I would swear that Amanda and Ben. I would if I didn't know there were two different people. I'd swear it was one person. You know.
Wait, wait, hold on. I'm just asking. Are Amanda and Ben husband and wife? Because I forgot to ask Ben that when we were at Nan.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm asking. Are you guys husband and wife, or you guys just happen to have the same last name? I don't know.
I who knows? But yeah, I would swear it was the same person because every time one types something, the other one types something. So it's like somebody switching accounts, But I do know for a fact they are two different people because I have talked to both of them on a stream here before.
Well, Amanda, you're a lot prettier than Ben is, so I'm just asking because I don't know. I just don't know.
We should have hung up. All right, everybody, we're out of here. Amanda, Tessie, Nightbot, R2R3, Ben, Jimmy T, Thrash Metal, Zach, Todd. Everybody, thanks for watching this. Thanks for watching us.
Thanks, guys. Oh, Ben says brother and sister. Oh, awesome. That's cool, guys. I never knew that. Ben, I'm sorry. I never knew that. That's awesome. Great. You guys are cool. No, that's awesome. I did not know that. I really didn't know you guys. I thought you guys were married. I had no idea. So.
Okay.
Can I have some mayonnaise in that foot sandwich, please?
Wow. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, Johnny Bean T-shirts. Yes. Yeah, they all they look like this.
Johnny Bean, I want to pick.
You want to pick?
I can put it next to
Okay.
So I can set it next to my Nerd Halen.
I've got my Nerd Halen right here. I got the older one right there.
Amanda Coombs, so gross. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't know. I didn't know.
This is turned into Maury Povich.
Jerry Springer.
This is turned into Jerry Springer now. Are they married? Are they brother and sister? What's going on?
Switch says we need to know so we can hit on her. Okay, Amanda, maybe I'll hit on you now because I know you're not like married to him. So
now that you know that she's not. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys later.
Oh, wait,
Thanks.
you're not 25. Sorry. You're out.
Oh, this is getting worse and worse. Dang.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Oh, my
Wait,
gosh.
Barney, come here. Barney, come here.
Wow.
Come here. See, this is the intuitive. I'm joking. Barney says bye.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right, we're gone. This is insane.
She's taken. What do you mean you're taken? It's me. Look at me. You're not taken.
Oh my gosh.
You see me? Are you not seeing the screen? I'm joking. Apparently Barney sees the screen. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
kidding.
This video is lagging out too now. Wow.
All
right, see you guys later. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're just now tuning in. And
that's why when I'm on the show we have so much fun because I have the best smile out there.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Oh yeah. All right. Good idea, Tessie. All right. See you guys later. Johnny Bean TV.
Bye guys. Bye.
I'm trying to end it. I'm trying. There it goes.